Hey guys, you're back with CarBuyer.com.sg. Today we're with the Kia Cerato GT line. We're going to tell you what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and whether or not you should get this or the cheaper EX version.
Buy and sell cars smarter, better and faster on our marketplace UCars with thousands of great deals available from dealers island-wide.
Alright, before we begin, if you're wondering why you can't see me, it's because I'm doing this by myself because of totally not heightened alert and totally not lockdown, whatever you want to call it. Never mind. Gonna do this as a one-man show this time around, and there may be birds in the background as befitting car buyer tradition. Okay, so the first thing we do like about the new Kia Cerato, rather the facelifted Kia Cerato, it's not all new, although Kia insists on calling it all new, because marketing. What we like about the facelift Kia Cerato is the way it looks, totally new front end almost. You can see the new headlights, which are full LEDs. This is the GT line model, so you get the nice body kit, you get the nice red highlights, and the lights are really quite nice, really. And some facelifts don't really go very extreme, but this one, quite a big difference. And of course, one of the key points of that is the Kia badge, which I think really lifts the front end, the tone of the whole car. Last time that round badge was okay, you knew it was a Kia, but this one's got a bit more pizzazz, a bit more je ne sais quoi. So what do you think of the new Kia badge? Why don't you let us know in the comments, and we'll move on to the next point. Okay guys, interior of the Kia Cerato GT line. And the next thing we like about the Kia Cerato is actually similar to the interior, because Kia actually has done quite a few improvements here. Even though it's a facelift, they could have gotten away with doing much less. This is the GT line steering wheel. It's similar to before. GT line badge, perforated leather, nice paddle shifters, nice gloss plastic. Of course, the new Kia logo in brushed aluminium. This is really quite nice. I like that as well. And the cabin has remained pretty much similar everywhere else, but I think the level of finish is quite nice, and the way the Kia does stuff in all black can't go wrong. Some brands do all black and it comes out tacky and gross, but it's really quite nice all around. This is soft touch plastic. Soft touch plastic. Yeah, my favorite. Smell it, love it. Anyway, to get back to the subject, this screen is the new screen, a lot bigger than before. Graphics are much sharper, and it's a lot more useful actually. So I'm pretty sure it's faster as well this time around. Of course, we also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which adds a much more dash of color and iPhone-inspired, smartphone-inspired user interface, as well as navigation, all that stuff. So very useful. And they didn't stop there as well. So, of course, this being the GT line, we have the aircon seats, which is always nice. Aircon seats, our favorite. We have a wireless device charger down here, which is Qi. I'm sure if you can see it right there. Qi means it's activated. Yeah, and a nice spacious tray with USB port here, 12 volt there. But this is really quite a spacious interior in terms of storage space. So I can put my phone there, put my bottle here, little glove box here as well. So very useful. And some of the other cars, mainstream cars, they kind of forget that you need all this stuff to carry around with you every day, and it's useful to have somewhere to put it. Very important. Stop it from flying around. Oh, and to talk about room, there is pretty decent room. There's nice room in the back as well, as usual, spacious as a mainstream sedan should be. So ticks all the boxes here for practicality and ease of use. No worries there. Okay, and one more important thing we really like about the Kia Cerato is the fact that it's got active safety. So some cars that have come into the modern age, in 2019 or is it early 2020, the Toyota Corolla Altis came on and it put in active safety into the new gen Corolla. That immediately says, from then on, everybody's got to have that. If not, you're lagging behind the class leader. And pleased to say that the Cerato is not lagging behind the class leader, actually about the same level, if not above, in this aspect. So active safety, I can't remember every single damn system that's on the Cerato, but we will draw up a list for you and put them right here. And we can see here, driver assistance, blind spot indicator, AEB, autonomous emergency braking. And you know what really gets me actually is the fact that this car has adaptive cruise control with pilot assist. So you set the distance between the car in front of you, and it helps you steer as well on the highway. So, you know, I remember the first time I used that system without the steering system. There was an S-Class probably about 10 years ago, and my mind was totally blown. First time I experienced, you know, a car kind of controlling the acceleration and deceleration by itself. And that was pretty much a mind job for me. And here we are 10 years later in a mainstream sedan costing 100 grand, and the technology is here. So very impressive. I like this feature a lot, not just from the safety aspect, but also if you get lazy on the highway, you can engage this, no worries. Okay, another thing we like about the Kia Cerato is the way it drives. Now let's just head off right now. So brisk acceleration. So we have a 1.6 liter engine here, about 120-ish horsepower. Ooh, big puddle there. Accelerate. Okay, so it got a bit woozy at higher revs, but you know, if you're gonna buy a mainstream sedan, you're not gonna expect, you know, crazy fire-breathing power. You're just gonna expect nice, gentle, smooth, everyday progress in a car that you can drive in every day, not feel stressed about. And that exactly is what the Kia Cerato has done before, after the facelift even more so. So rolling on in a straight line at about 50 k's, nice quiet road, no traffic around, but you will notice that there is not much road noise and not much wind noise. Of course, wind noise we'll hear later on the highway, but there isn't much road noise here at all. And from the camera mount up there, you might get a little bit of the road bumps. So here's where the Cerato GT line actually isn't as good as the EX because it has larger 18-inch wheels. So that translates into a bit of bumpiness, a little bit of bump here and there. If you go for the slow, you can hear that. So that is an effect of the bigger wheels. And having driven the EX as well, you go 1 inch down, you know, it gets a lot better, a lot softer. Oh, maybe that's not what she said. So 1.6 liter engine, nice smooth power. You know, it's not a stressed engine at all. I think that contributes to overall reliability. And we have here, which wasn't in the previous car, sport mode. So we actually drive mode button right here. So we've got eco, we've got sport. A bit of a kick down there. So if you drive this car in a normal day-to-day on the highway, we got less than 7 liters per 100, which is very much in the ballpark for a 1.6 liter mainstream sedan. And in and around town, you probably go up to, you know, 8-ish or maybe 9 if the traffic's really bad. But I reckon from day to day, you would get about 7-ish for an average driver. You know, if you're not driving like a total coon, which is good and well within the ballpark of what you expect from a mainstream sedan. So the handling is also pretty good. It's normal, nimble. Nothing really to worry about here with the Kia Cerato. Of course, here we have a bit more of rough surface, but you know, compared to say an SUV or some of the cheaper compact sedans, it'll be a lot noisier in those cars. Oof. Probably didn't sound very good. So I'm going to accelerate out here the highway. So like all 1.6 liter non-turbo engines, you know, a bit more revs. We're doing about 2,000 revs here because we're accelerating up to 80. So a bit more of the wind noise comes in, but you notice it's actually not that bad, at least from what I'm perceiving. We're going over those little squares on the road left by the heavy vehicles. And you know, it's really quite good, really quite refined. So at low speed, at high speed, Kia Cerato, you know, still refined, still nice to drive in the day-to-day. Okay, we have gotten all the good stuff out of the way, and what we don't like about the Kia Cerato, well, the fact that it's not a hybrid or even a mild hybrid in 2021. This is 2021, year of the hybrid and the electric car. And a mainstream car, of course, you know, it has to be affordable, less than 100 grand, although the rising COE price means that is increasingly hard. But, you know, we have stuff like VES to help you along there. So the fact that, you know, the Cerato does not have a hybrid version, even a mild hybrid version, is quite a big omission to me. And you know, from a performance perspective, in and around town, the car's nice to drive, as I mentioned, yes, but you know, when you have a 1.6 without the hybrid motor system, without turbocharging, you really do feel it, you know, from your right foot and the lack of response there. So not just talking about the fuel economy and this whole saving the world thing, but also getting around town, you know, I think you might even be outgunned by a Prius or something like that at low revs, and that'll be pretty funny, you know, when your GT line's all dressed up, but then you get outgunned by a damn Prius. Of course, we all know who drives a Prius. He who shall not be named. And we shall not name him. Okay, one thing we don't quite like about the Cerato, we actually mentioned just now, the bigger wheels actually impinge on the ride quality a bit. So, despite this being a refined sedan, quiet at high speed, I'm going to take my speed up to 90. Then you have to listen. So doing 90 right now, yeah, still the sound level is pretty much the same. Of course, you know, getting the noise from the camera and whatnot, it might sound more to you, but to me, it's actually pretty good, especially compared to a tall SUV like that one. But anyway, handling is good, it's refined, everything is nice, but the ride quality is still a little bit jiggly. And then if you read our reviews, you know that's one of my bugbears. So we would recommend you know, go down an inch to get the EX model, which has the 17-inch wheels rather than the 18-inch wheels of the GT line. And also the GT line and the EX both have drive modes, but really you don't really need, you know, a sport mode in a car like this. Do I really want sport mode in a car like this? Unleash the power of the 1.6 liter non-turbocharged engine. You know, it sounds very normal. Sounds like a vacuum cleaner, like every other mainstream sedan. You know, you're not tricking anybody with sport mode here, so you really don't need that in a car like this. And our last gripe about the drive is actually this thing right here. And I am ashamed to admit that I didn't notice it at first, but having got into the car this time around and realized, hey, this A-pillar is really thick. So, okay, just gonna get around this Touran here. You don't know what lane you're in, do ya? No, you don't. How fast are we going? We're going at 90. Why? I don't know. Nobody knows what they're doing. So actually, I realized, yes, that the A-pillar is quite thick, and you know, A-pillars nowadays are very important, you know, they're for strength, structural strength, but at the same time, if your A-pillar is this thick and we have this thing here blocking your vision as well, that is, you know, that might be a bit tricky when it comes to maneuvering in town. You know, people like, you know, the e-scooters and all that sort of thing, it does get a bit tricky. So this is really quite thick, and I'm used to thicker A-pillars on an SUV or, you know, a sports car, and you realize, yeah, it's like that because of the styling. So just keep in mind that whenever you have car design, there's always a compromise. In this case, the nice look of the Cerato you actually pay for in this. So when you're driving one, just be careful of cyclists and pedestrians. You know, you have to do this to just get your eye around the eye line, especially if you're turning around a corner at slow speed, like if I was turning left here at this red light. Just got to make a bit of extra care right there because of this thing. Okay, so before we go, I promised to tell you which of the two Kia Ceratos you should get, the GT line here or the cheaper EX, and I figure the difference between them is about 6 or 7 grand at this point in time. The GT line costs just above 100 grand, the EX costs just below the magic $100,000 Singapore dollar mark. Which one should you get? Our personal bet, and please read Ben Chia's review of the EX first if you haven't read it already, and read my review of the GT line and compare them. But I will tell you now. Yeah, okay, so actually the GT line adds on the body kit, adds on the bigger wheels, adds on the sunroof, adds on the sunroof, adds on the sunroof, and also adds on the fancy steering wheel, adds on the aircon seats, blind spot collision avoidance. Now the EX only has blind spot warning. This one actually avoids, helps you, you know, siam people and stop you from flattening that motorbiker who was hiding in your blind spot. So for the $7,000 difference, personally we think the EX is the way to go because the ride quality is better. As just now we said that the GT line is a little bit jiggly, but this one, the GT line's ride quality is a little bit jiggly, but the EX ride quality is a little bit better because of the smaller wheels. And most importantly, you get all the safety stuff, the new active safety equipment on the EX as well as the big screen, as well as that screen, you know, and as well as the automatic parking brake. All the essential stuff of the upgrade doesn't look that much different either, in our opinion. Okay, so that's our review of the Kia Cerato GT line, what we liked about it, what we don't like about it, and whether or not you should buy the EX one. The answer is yes. So if you found this review good and you liked it, please like it, please subscribe to CarBuyer.com.sg, visit the website, subscribe also to our new digital edition of the magazine as well. Check it out all on CarBuyer.com.sg.